He's called public enemy number one for a reason, and being a gangster, he is brutal. Do I need to explain the St. Saint massacre? I don't think I need to because that's later in the video. But when the nickname Scarface, he has notorieties during the Prohibition era in America. This is Al Scarface Capone from the Daily Life section in Story of America cards. P.S. Al was not born in New York, and I'll explain why later in the video, so stay tuned for that. Alphonse Gabriel Capone, sometimes known by his nickname Scarface, was an American gangster and businessman who attained notoriety during the Prohibition era as a co-founder and boss of the Chicago outfit. His 7-year reign as a crime boss ended when he went to prison at the age of 33. To federal agents called G-Man, he was always known as public enemy number one. To the cream of Chicago society and others during Prohibition days, from 1920 to 1933, he was a reliable supplier of liquor, prostitutes, and gambling not obtainable anywhere else. And to the American public in general, Alphonse Scarface Capone was both a legend and a nightmare, representing as he did the existing qualities, good and bad, of contemporary American society. He was a poor immigrant who, though his own efforts, achieved a kind of success and the fame they confined upon him, and were hardly worthy of approval by any American. Al Capone was born in Naples, Italy in 1899. Now, before I get into more detail, the card I'm reading says he was born in Naples and was brought to the US when he was young. Wikipedia and other sites say that he was born in Brooklyn, but I believe it is not true, as this card proves it, as it was made in 1979. And let them know, painted in Italy, and then printed in Italy itself, like all the other Story of America cards I have, and since it was made in 1979, that is a way before the internet and Wikipedia, so this is fact, and you can argue with me on it if you want, but I got something that's physically in my possession, so beat that. Anyways, he was brought to the United States by his family at an early age. He grew up in the slum section of Brooklyn, New York, where he quickly learned the ways of street crime. A member of a local gang in his teens, Capone's early acquaintances included one John Torrio, a vicious and successful gangster. When Torrio moved to Chicago in 1920, he sent for Capone and asked him to become one of his lieutenants. Capone, who had already had numerous run-ins with New York's law enforcement officials, considered Torrio's option an opportunity he could not pass up. By now, Capone was a ruthless man, hungry for power and wealth. He also was intelligent and did not take him long to recognize the great possibilities that existed in controlling Chicago's bootlegging operations. Slowly, by means of treachery, bribery, and murder, he gained control of small territories within the city, integrating each one into his organization. Capone's classic method of elimination competition was to lure leaders of rival gangs to a certain place and then cut them down with Thompson submachine guns. This method was used by Capone's men to murder 7 members of the rival O'Banion gang in the fabled St. Valentine's Day Massacre of 1929. During his heyday, it was thought that Capone's gang took over $127 million from bootlegging operations alone. Capone was never convicted of any violent crime, and federal agents finally captured him in 1931. He was imprisoned for income tax evasion. When he left his jail cell in 1939, he was too ill to reassume his position of power in the rackets. Instead, he moved to Florida and died there in 1947 at the age of 48. And that's Scarface Capone. I hope you liked the video, and if you want to discuss more of it, say it in the comments. What I'm going to be doing next for the Story of America cards series are 2 daily life cards. One on Dorothea Dix and early dentists. So be glad that you, when it comes to the dentist, that you go through less painful experience than it was in those days. We're gonna have fun with that. Anyways, see you later.